Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I work in the outreach team here at Brasenose College, and we're just going to talk a little bit today about college choices. So this is part 2 of a video that we're doing with Matt Williams over at Jesus College. So if you've not seen that yet, go watch that first. He'll go talk about the basics of the college choices. And then if you come back here, we're going to talk a little bit about the myths that people have about college choices and what colleges you should apply to or put down as your preference. And then we're going to hear a bit more from our students. So firstly, lots of people, for whatever reason, think that they can't apply to the same college as their friends, or that if you do that, you'll have a lower chance of being accepted. That's absolutely not the case. You can apply to the same college as all of your friends from school. A couple of years ago, we had 5 students here at Brasenose from the same sixth form college. And this year, we've made offers to 2 students from the same school, both for medicine. So the same school, same college, and same subject. So it's absolutely possible. Now, a lot of people on the UCAS form, when they're making their college choice, see that as actually applying to that college. And that's not really the case. You're applying to the university, and that's a college preference. And that's important because we have a reallocation scheme here. So about a third of all students who make a college preference and get in will go to a college other than the one they put down as their preference. And that's purely a numbers game. And that's just to ensure that all of the best students get in regardless of what college they've applied to. So you're not disadvantaged by your college choice. But the important thing to know is that if that happens to you and maybe you apply to the same college as your friends and now you're going somewhere else, you're still going to have an amazing time. Generally, people love every college they end up at regardless. That happened to me. I applied to one college, ended up at a college that on the surface looked very, very different. Thought it might be a bit different and I might be a bit disappointed, but I had a fantastic time. And going back, I wouldn't change anything. And another myth that people might have about the colleges is that some colleges are better than the other colleges for certain subjects. And while it's true that not all of the colleges offer all of the subjects, the quality of teaching across all colleges that offer the same subject is going to be exactly the same. There's no college that's the best for medicine, or you can't miss out by going to a college that's not as good for medicine, for example. The English course is going to be the same across all colleges you go to. So don't worry about the quality of the education. It's going to be fantastic wherever you go. And then as a final myth when it comes to making a college choice or putting down a college preference, we have something in Oxford called the link colleges. So certain colleges across the university work with different areas. So someone from Oxford might have come into your school and talked to you about making college choices or what Oxford's like. Now, just because a college works in whatever school you go to, doesn't mean you need to apply to that college or you're better off if you apply to that college. That makes no difference at all. So if us at Brasenose have come and spoken to you at your school, you don't need to apply to us. You can apply to whoever you want. If you guys were to pick a college again and you couldn't pick your current college, what is the number one thing you would look for when making your choice?
One thing we would look for, rather than not saying like another college.
Yeah, what would you look for when making that choice?
I guess I think like the wholesomeness of like the college living. So like how interconnected you are. Like some colleges I feel like there'll be year groups and they'll be like you won't know half the people in your year group, where there's some colleges where you will know like everyone in your year group. And I think like the interconnectivity between different year groups as well. And I think, I'm not sure about Brasenose, but there's definitely a lot of like interaction between first year, second years, third years, fourth years. I mean, some of my like best friends are in the year above me. And I think just that level of like wholesomeness of being able to know that like you go and you might go to like the JCR and there won't be people in your year, but there might be people in the year above, and like the ability to just go up and like,
I guess it's like a sense of community, right? Between all of the year groups and kind of between just everyone in like the undergraduate body. I think for me, this is obviously kind of semi on the condition of being able to come, but I guess you could do the same through like online. I would just look for somewhere that felt like a home and like felt like somewhere that I wanted to live, because I think when I first was looking, I sort of wanted to go to like what I had in my head as like the image of what Oxford was, which was all of these huge, daunting academic buildings, and kind of I wanted to be in like that sort of environment. And I think actually from being here, yes, that part is cool, but also I don't necessarily, me personally, I don't necessarily like want to be in like a sort of haunting, intimidating college that's full of stature and grandeur. As much as a little bit of grandeur is like cool, like whoa, I'm at Oxford kind of thing. It's, I think, somewhere where you feel at home is the most important thing. Be that from the vibes and the people that you meet, and like when you visit on the open day, if you visit, from their kind of the different, like the details, like you said, right? Like one that fits me as kind of a home, because at the end of the day, your college is mainly just sort of like a place and community for you to live in. So it's like, where can you see yourself living? I think is quite a key thing.
And I think just like the general like supportiveness of the college, the staff, the academics, the fellows, the students.
That's true, actually. I think a lot of the things that college have in place, some of the things that are really important, like the sort of like welfare structures and things like that, and kind of how like open and friendly this, like you say, like the college staff are as well, because I think that does make a big difference. If you've got a college that's sort of really receptive, I don't know how you would tell this from like an application process, but I think it's really nice when the college is really sort of receptive to student needs, listens to the students, listens to the student body. There's a lot of like interaction between the students and the staff, and kind of it's a community rather than just like the supervisors or leaders of the college and then the students are like kind of you know what I mean? I think it's much nicer when you have that interconnection with the actual college itself, meaning sort of the fellows and the staff and things like that.
And I think also like in that sense, like especially at Jesus, I think the college does like a lot of like the achievements, a lot of like the stuff that goes pretty well, and like people's personal like records and awards that they may have like get recognition for. The college does tend to like kind of support these kind of things, support them in like, I guess, posting them on socials and stuff, but also supporting them in terms of like monetarily if they need stuff. So like I think it was last year, it wasn't that, I think like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, like Jesus won football cuppers, which is like,
well, Brasenose won last year,
which is essentially just like inter-college like football tournaments. And I mean, like even now, like I think Jesus played today a football cupper quarterfinal, but it's like those kind of things. Like you'll see students like travel across the city to our playing fields to sit and watch and support, and you'll also see like college like staff and stuff like be actively like kind of asking and like wanting to know like, oh, so how did this match go, or supporting them, being like, oh, okay, so it's something that they're genuinely passionate about, and like supporting the passions of the people, whether it's in terms of like providing money to buy kits, providing money to buy equipment, or like practice gear and like fields and stuff, and like maintaining like the upkeep of like these things. And I think just like a college that supports what you want to do outside of your academics and your academia is very, very important.